Protesters. I've got to be honest, often I don't really like talking about it because I think when people do stupid things, the worst thing you can do is give them the oxygen of publicity because then they do it more. But have you seen today what they've been doing in the House of Commons? It's reached a point where I've got to say something about it, and that something is it's utterly ridiculous. They've glued themselves to the Speaker's chair or around it. They've padlocked themselves to the rails of Parliament. Quite frankly, I would leave them there. I would. Gina Miller. Personally speaking, I think we are too soft on protesters. I think people think they can do whatever they want to do, whether it's stopping traffic, chaining themselves to this, supergluing themselves to that. I would get much tougher. Where do you stand?
Well, there is a much tougher bill that went through Parliament, actually, that we haven't seen all the details yet, as I said, because we need to see some of the secondary legislation. But the police and crime bill does actually give a lot of powers to the police to stop now a lot of the protests going forwards. And some people argue it's going too far, but there's new legislation. But I want to talk about this one because my sentiment is in agreement that we should have, one of the signs said Citizen Assembly on climate change. As I said earlier, that since 2016 in Ireland, we have citizens' assemblies, and one of the things they have it on is climate change as well as abortion and constitutional issues, etc. But breaking into Parliament, because they were there, it was breaking because, OK, they were on tour, but it was breaking into the chamber and doing themselves, I think is a huge disrespect to our institution of Parliament. We have to respect the institutions we have, and you can't just glue yourself to the Speaker's chair. It doesn't matter if you disagree. And what you might be so passionate, which they would argue they are, and I am passionate about climate change and protecting it for our children, for the future, but you have to respect and do it in a way that doesn't actually... It just makes a nonsense and a mockery of our institutions. And it makes a mockery of how you actually act with each other and how you debate these issues. And I think these are extreme measures that I definitely do not agree with.